Hey guys, Asian here, and I'm aware that I haven't been posting since September, which I am really sorry about that. I've been busy of school and such like that. But anyways, like last year, I created my own custom LEGO Advent Calendar based off of the hit film Home Alone. Not this one, not that one, and God, not these abominations. Just the first film. Like the 2021 Harry Potter Advent Calendar, I wanted to follow the film's storyline as you progress through the days. This was such a fun project to tackle on, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Unlike the Ninjago Advent Calendar I did last year, I actually decided to make box art for this, and I got a little help from Mr. Ashenflash. He helped me with the font, and I'm glad that he helped me because I would have scrapped this idea behind. But anyways, let's zoom into day one. And for day one, here we have is an updated version of Kevin McAllister. He uses short legs instead of mid legs, and also I decided to make a new face print for him since I didn't like the one in the LEGO Ideas set. It looked too cartoony in my opinion. And also he has a new torso print, which is the same sweater but with the BB gun strap on it. And for his hairpiece, I decided to use the Harry Potter hairpiece since I think it would be really cool to get the hairpiece in tan, and I just think it works better here. Also, he has another face expression where it's his iconic screaming face, and I think I translated Macaulay Culkin's face into LEGO form pretty well. So moving on to day two, here we have is a Christmas store, and it has two new prints, which is a wreath and also a doorknob for the McAllister's doorknob, and I think it's pretty adorable. And moving on to day three, here we have is the door frame, and I kind of just took it from the original LEGO Ideas house, but it includes a heated doorknob print for Harry to grab onto, which it looks a bit odd in my opinion, but I tried my best to replicate it from the film, so I think it looks really cool, and I think a lot of people will be using this doorknob to replace the one in the Home Alone set. So moving on to day four.
Look what you did, you little jerk!
Here we have is the dinner table, and it includes two new prints, which is a box of pizza, which is from Little Nero's Pizza, and you also get a Pepsi can, which I know LEGO probably wouldn't make this print, but I decided to do it nonetheless. I think it's pretty adorable. And moving on to day five, here we have is Buzz, and I chose him instead of Uncle Frank.
You little jerk!
He plays a bigger part in all the films, and I think he's a really cool minifigure. I'm pretty proud of how I made the torso. Also, the face and hairpiece I think look really accurate too. Moving on to day 6, here we have is a McAllister house, and there wasn't really much micro builds I could do, so I decided to make this instead, and I think it's pretty adorable. Again, there's an unnecessary print right there, but it made the whole build work, so I don't think it was too unnecessary. But anyways, moving on to day 7, here we have is a grand piano. There was a piano in the film, so I decided to make it since LEGO really likes their pianos for some reason. But anyways, moving on to day 8, here we have is the TV with the best film ever called Angels with Filthy Souls. I really love the print of this. LEGO did make their own version, but I think they made it too simplified, so I decided to add the drum gun, and yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. To decorate the TV, I decided to make, for day 9, a table stand and some accessories. There's the table where you can put the TV on, and also there's the firecrackers, which is the dynamite piece, and also a remote so Kevin could turn it on whenever he'd like to. So moving on to day 10, here we have the dancing mannequin, and it's kind of like the snowman of this advent calendar, but I really love the face print here. Also, the scarlet hairpiece in tan is a really nice inclusion, and the action pose is in the new coloring, so yeah, that's great. Moving on to day 11, here we have is a Christmas tree, and I just took this one from the Harry Potter Advent Calendar. So moving on to day 12, here we have is Marv, and I decided to just recolor him since they wear the same clothes in the whole film, so he's just a simple recoloring. For some reason, the lighting in this clip made it look like the clothes looked like this, so that's what I kind of based it on. LEGO actually made the suit colors pretty accurate, but I think this variant of him is pretty nice. So moving on to day 13, here we have some trap making items, and basically I included this so you could make your own traps, and you know, you could make the robbers slip on the ice, you could throw water at them, or you can make them trip on the cars, which, by the way, they're both references to a vehicle that was seen in the McAllister house in the film, and also the Wet Bandit's truck. So moving on to day 14, here we have is the stair trap, and I think this is the most iconic build out of all of this. I think it's pretty unfortunate that LEGO couldn't include the stairs in the actual set. Also, if you remove the plate on the bottom with the sock printing, there's another tar splatter, but it doesn't have the sock on it, so you could have this with the sock or without it. So moving on to day 15, here we have is some snowy territory. You know, I think it's a simple build, but it's still pretty effective for what I'm trying to achieve. So moving on to day 16, here we have is a minifigure, and it's Harry. He has a crowbar, and I decided to give him a beanie instead of that weird robber's hat they've been using for City. Also, his torso is a recoloring of the LEGO Ideas minifigure, because I think the gray was pretty accurate, but for some reason, some photos shows his jacket as green, so I decided to do that instead, and I think it works out pretty well. He also has two face expressions like Marv, where he has a stern face and also a screaming face, which I'm very upset that we did not get in the Home Alone set. So moving on to day 17, here we have is a blowtorch trap, and I think Lego did a horrible job trying to replicate this, so I took it up with my own hands and made my own. And not gonna lie, this kind of reminds you of the Mario system, but I think I did a pretty good job trying to convey this scene. And yeah, this is just hilarious. So moving on to day 18, here we have is the feathers and fan trap. And Lego kind of did this, but they only made the fans, so yeah, I decided to add the feathers in this one. Moving on to day 19, here we have is the tripwire trap, and this one was kind of creative liberties. You could have Harry trip over the tripwire and have Marv knock over the plant on him. Yeah, brutal. But moving on to day 12, here we have is the paint cans, and it includes a string, so you could dangle it and hit the wet bandits with it, which I think is pretty fun. And yes, I know the printing here is pretty unnecessary, but I think it still looks cool. And also I know there's only 2 in the film, but I decided to have 3, so then you also have the tar paint can. Moving on to day 21, here we have Old Man Marley, and the minifigure, it's somewhat the same. However, I decided to use my Obi-Wan face print that I made for my Tatooine minifigure pack, which I think works. You don't even need the beard, honestly. So moving on to day 22, here we have is a telephone spider and a golden tooth. It's just miscellaneous items that appeared throughout the trap sequence. But anyways, moving on to day 23. This one I took creative liberties on, but I decided to make the coat rack, and it includes a beanie for Kevin and also a police hat for Harry. Anyways, moving on to the final day, here we have is Kate McAllister, and yes, she's reusing the same torso and also the legs as the one in the Home Alone Lego Ideas set, but I decided to give her the Hermione's hairpiece because her hair in the film was long, and also we need that hairpiece in dark orange at some point. Also, I decided to make a new face print since I really don't like the cartoony look they tried to convey in the minifigures. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. And also here we have is the face. So yeah, so here are all the builds together, and this genuinely looks like an advent calendar. Like, I don't know about you, but the Ninjago one, it was pretty good, but I don't think it compares to this at all. I don't know, something about it just makes me feel like Lego actually would do this. I don't know, like I genuinely love it. Maybe next year if I decide to do another advent calendar, I'm actually gonna draw it this time, since I'm most likely gonna have more free time than I do this year. But anyways, that's it for the video. If you want to, comment down below what's your favorite build, and yeah, that's about it. See you guys.